Blog Talk Radio.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something. This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned. Hey, 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 this is your girl, Destiny D, live on WTLR Radio, and today's date is April 6, 2019, and you are listening to the Literary Lounge, and we have a very, very special guest on the line today. She goes by the name of Nell. I may have pronounced that wrong, but she gonna correct me. We're going to be talking about her new book titled The Devil Thought He Had Me. So I want you guys to listen in and tune in to get a little bit of feedback on her. So let's see if she's on the line, guys. Hold on. Hello, Chanel.
Hello?
You there?
I'm here.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you fine. How are you today?
I am wonderful.
Great. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to let the world know exactly who you are, a little bit about your writing style and your book, also some events and things that you might have in the near future. So we want to have like a full in-depth interview with you right now.
Wonderful.
So just give a brief introduction of yourself and where you're from.
I am from Florida. I'm the author of Joyful Noise, The Hot Mess Choir, and my latest book, The Devil Thought He Had Me. The author, Nell. I'm a Christian fiction author, more urban Christian fiction than regular Christian fiction. I write for us, about us.
Okay. And I'm not sure if I heard, but where are you from? What state are you repping?
I'm in Florida.
Okay.
Sunny Florida, yeah.
So how did you get into writing?
I actually was a writer from a long time ago, childhood. We were avid readers in my family, and one day I was like, I don't want to read any more of these books about little white girls and ponies. And my mom was like, well, go write something. And during that time, there wasn't a lot of African-American characters in books, so it was hard for us to see ourselves in books. So I started to write then what I was reading about, urban kids growing up in an urban setting. And I wrote for quite some time. I wrote for my college paper when I was at USF, and I wrote, things here and there, but it didn't take off until I started the blog. I fell in love with Christian fiction about 2 years ago, and I started a blog about the genre because I wanted other people to know about the genre because I was just so impressed. And that blog caught the eye of my publisher, and from there it's just snowballed. God has been really blessing.
Oh, wow. That's so great. So when it comes to your book, The Devil Thought He Had Me, what prompted you to write that book?
That book is actually about relationships. It's not as the book before that is Joyful Noise, the Hot Mess Choir. They're not sequels, but that book, Joyful Noise, was more about church and kind of, church choir and things like that. This one is really about real women who, they love God, but they're living real lives. And I wanted to portray some characters that were like just everyday people that we see and their journey and kind of tell their story.
Oh, okay. So when you say tell their story, are you mentioning it more so like a true story based, or are these fictional characters with a realization type of background?
They are fictional characters. However, I have been told by several readers, that sounds just like me, or I was in the same situation as Shannon or Jenna or April, any of those characters in the book. So I think it's a mix. It's not a true story. It's definitely fiction, but it's realistic fiction. And I've done my best to make it as real as possible so that the reader identifies with the lady.
Okay. So how long did it take you to write the actual book?
Oh, wow. The Hot Mess, The Devil Thought He Had Me actually started last year around this time as a short story. And then when I sat down to write my next book after, let me see if I can develop something here. And it grew from there. So I put the beginning away for some time, and then I picked it back up, and it was like a brand new story.
Oh, wow. So you added on to it and made it a whole new story?
Yeah. It turned into its own story, which was wonderful.
Awesome. So if you had to give somebody like a particular part of the book that really stood out to you, that made you want to write more, what part of the book would that be?
There's a part in it where her name is Shannon. She's one of the characters, and her ex-husband leaves the family, and he leaves for quite some time, actually, a couple of years, and the kids are grown up, and she's gotten her life together, put herself through school. She's living her best life, and lo and behold, she gets a knock at the door. It's him on the other side, and she's contemplating in her mind, should I slam the door and cuss, or should I cuss and slam the door? How dare he come back into my life after I have gotten it all together? So after writing that part, it really prompted me to keep going because I identified with the character. Sometimes we come out of relationships and we grow from them, but, lo and behold, here comes the same relationship again. And it's like, well, what decisions do you make?
Right. So with that being said, how did that go about? Like, did she give him a second chance, or was it like a no-go from the gate, or did she shut him down?
Actually, it was very subtle. In the book, there's a line where she says, he came on a Thursday, and it says later, and he's still here. So it wasn't a, hey, come back home type thing. It was a, oh, come on in, have a seat on the couch. Oh, wow, it's been 2 weeks. You're still here.
Wow. Okay. So it sounds like there was some kind of reconciliation involved, or at least a chance to, like, talk things through. I actually went through that similar circumstance myself. Like, I met someone and was with them for 6 years, and then out of the blue, I got booted out the house. And it was kind of crazy because he was the reason why I lost my own place, and I had moved in with him. And when I moved in with him, he decided that it was best that we parted ways. So I ended up, like, I was so mad. I got a U-Haul. I loaded the truck by myself. I peeled
Oh
out.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. And I went through all of those different emotions. I cried. I was mad.
Mhm.
I was up and all that other stuff. And then I found out that he was sick. And that was the reason why he felt that it
Oh
was best that
wow.
I split. Right. And part of me was like, I wish he had told me because, like,
Uh-huh.
I was a nurse for 10 years. So it was like I was used to taking care of
Yeah.
people. It made sense that I would take care of him. I mean, of course, I
Mhm.
was there with him, and it wouldn't have been a problem after that. So we ended up reconciling, and today makes 8 years. And
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, yet holding. Yeah, we yet holding. So, sometimes it be situations where you can actually like work things out or talk them out instead of just throwing in the
Mhm.
towel and not knowing why. Because a lot of
Yeah.
men have a problem with vocalizing what's going on with them, and
Yeah. Yes, they
communication
do.
is one of the major things that men have a problem with when it comes to relationships. So luckily, I was able to talk to mine and figure out what was going on, and we kind of and believe it or not, I'm the only one that was in his corner through everything that he's been through
Wow.
over the last 2 years, dealing with all of the doctor visits, the hospital stays, the near death experiences and stuff like that. It's crazy because his family is not here. I'm the only one by his side. I'm literally right here now, sitting in a waiting area, and I'm the only one here
Uh-huh.
on his behalf. And it's crazy. You would think that when situations like these arise, that other people would be there, by your side. But you find out real quick who's real
Who
and
too,
who's not,
right?
who's there
Yes,
for you and who's not. And
definitely, definitely.
that in the book. So uh, I want to give you the opportunity to give a brief synopsis. Um, like what part of the book do you think would intrigue the reader enough to read the book? Like,
I think that because the book is in first person, readers have identified with each of the characters, so it's not a book about like one person for 4 or 5 chapters. It actually oscillates between them, so you get a little bit of each of their story, and their stories are separate, but they kind of go together. They meet once a quarter for a lunch or dinner, and they kind of, talk just like girlfriends do. Girlfriends will meet up every so often, and we'll all get together, have drinks, and just fellowship with one another. And that's what they do throughout the book. And when those times are gone, when they're living their own lives. And each of them has a different struggle. I mentioned Shannon, who was dealing with the return of her ex-husband. There's Jenna, who is just, navigating relationships. She wants to be with her child's father. She has previous children, like a lot of us do, and she's really trying to make that situation work. At the end of the day, they all find, though, hope in God without it being super churchy. Like, there's no big church scene or big choir scene in the book. It's really subtle, but they find that hope and that strength in God towards the end. So it's kind of the best
mm-hmm.
of both worlds in that it's going to give you a lot of drama, a lot of intrigue. It's definitely Turner. And at the same time, though, you're going to have that hope at the end.
Right. So when you had the book done, who helped you publish it, or did you self-publish it?
I'm signed to Anointed Inspiration Publishing. That's my publisher. They published all of the books. This one is my fifth. So I work really close with them. They are phenomenal. It's a Christian-based organization. So they have me and several other authors that they publish.
Okay,
and
so when you
it's
say
truly a relationship.
that's good. That's good that you have that relationship with them. Um, because that's a very, very touchy arrangement when you have something that you want to put out and you have to deal with other people in order to get it done and processed and stuff like that, and you're not sure how things will go. I myself, I found it very difficult to find a publisher myself, and I ended up self-publishing, which turned out to be a blessing because it became a whole lot more. Like I saw that there was a need for, a support system kind of platform, and able to for what I did for myself to other people. So now I publish other people, and I also have the interviewing platform. I have the magazine platform, and try to make it so everybody or anybody that wants to get a book out can actually have that opportunity without breaking the bank. Because there's a lot of people out here who like to put big price tags on something that can be done in like a short space of time, and you're paying for their time. You're paying for the fact that they have to sit down and do work. Other than that, most of the legwork is done by the writer.
Yes, definitely. And I think it's very important that we have, like you said, that support system. There are so many people that have stories inside of them, and they're good stories that the world needs to hear. But like you said, there are, pockets of the writing community that will take advantage of that. I've been blessed that I've found a wonderful group of people that support me not only within my publishing company that I work with, but also outside of it, in just the writing community as a whole. I've really been blessed and found some really positive-minded people in the writing community.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that you have that, because like I said, a lot of people, so that's a blessing and a half to have that. Now, I did hear you say you had multiple books. You said about 6 of them?
Yeah, I'm actually working on my 6th. The Devil Thought He Had Me is my 5th book. The first 3 are a series. It's called the Good Thing series. So you have a good thing if I be lifted up, and a good thing, vengeance is mine. And then my 4th book was Joyful Noise, the Hot Mess Choir. And now I am working on my 6th.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you said the Hot Mess?
Joyful Noise, the Hot Mess Choir.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought this was what you said. Okay.
Yeah, that's the title.
All
they
right.
are a
All
hot
right.
mess.
I believe it. I believe it. I used to sing in the choir, so I believe it.
Yeah. In that book, the First Lady has been commissioned by her husband to put together a mass choir. And if you can just imagine one choir filled with, children, youth, older, the senior choir, the adult choir, the young adult choir, all in one choir together. And that is why they're called the Hot Mess Choir, because in the beginning, no one wants to work together.
No.
The senior choir doesn't want to sing. They don't want to sing with the children. The young adult choir definitely doesn't want to sing with the adult choir. That's like, the rock. Right. You got to get that rock in. And so they all together make up. Yeah, you got to get the rock in. The music's different. So they go through that heads quite a bit throughout the book. And at the end of that one, they, God does his thing in the Hot Mess Choir, and it works out for the good in the end. But it was definitely just a hoot to write, because those characters they're a hot mess.
I believe it. And I think that's nice that you have characters that people can relate to. That's good, because I know exactly what you mean. The young adult choir don't want to be affiliated with the adult choir because the song's different and they don't stay stationary and the kids are all over the place, and yes, I could definitely see that as
and,
being
the senior choir definitely doesn't want to. They don't want to sing under the young adult choir. The senior choir, they got their own special brand of holiness. They want to sing, songs that brought them through. They're not trying to sing Kirk Franklin in the senior choir.
All they know is the hymn. They turn the
they want to sing, a charge to keep I have, not stomp.
Yeah, I can see it now. Oh my goodness! But I'm glad that you were able to take that situation and turn it into something entertaining. And that's a thought that nobody I've heard of, using. Of course, we've seen the choirs that went to singing competitions and stuff like that, like the movie with Beyonce and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it. Fighting Temptation. Yeah. That was based on a choir being put together and stuff like that. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your new release?
The new release is the Double Thought Academy. That's the one with the 4 girls that we were talking about. I'm working on a secret project right now. Not giving the title just yet. Hopefully it will be out the summer, late summer, early fall. But I'll definitely come back and talk about that when we're ready.
Okay, no problem. I got you. I understand the secret. You have any events or anything coming up in the near future in relativity to your new book?
Yes, I do. I am actually blessed to be a part of a group of authors that will be putting on the first annual Tampa Bay Black Author Expo. It's about half a dozen of us. Actually, no, it's more than that. It's about 12 or 13. And there'll be vendors. It's in Clearwater, Florida. There'll be vendors there. We'll be selling books, but there'll also be other vendors there as well. There'll be things for the kids. There'll be children's authors. So it's going to be really nice. It's on April 20th from 10 to 4 p.m. in Clearwater, Florida.
Okay, awesome. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that information is available to those who are in the area to where they can get to that event and show love and support to you guys for the books and things that you've written. So
Wonderful.
I'll be sure to keep that information before we close out the show because I want people to be able to come and show support.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Is there anybody that helped you along the way, gave you guidance as far as like your character building and anybody that you want to give a shout out to as far as for what they did as far as love and support?
Definitely a shout out to my husband, Jonathan, who is my backbone. He's a coach, a football coach by trade, but he's definitely a coach who keeps me going. Then my publishing group that I'm under, AIP, the AIP family is wonderful. It's a group of women who love God and love each other sincerely. Definitely would not be where I am without their support and without their love. And then, every girl has a tribe. So I have a tribe of sorority sisters and friends that keep me lifted up in prayer. And, when I call in the middle of the night because I'm stressed out or don't think the character's flowing, they listen to me read or they'll read for me. So I definitely got to thank my tribe.
That's good. I'm glad you have a nice, strong foundation. That's very good to have when you're doing in this industry because I've noticed that, a lot of people don't have that. And they wonder why, their book is not doing too well with sales and stuff like that. Sometimes it just takes off sometimes or either one of your best friends or something putting a post up about how good the book was and stuff like that that intrigues other people. Take a chance on it.
Definitely.
So that's what you have that backup. Now, if somebody wanted to reach out to you in reference to purchasing a copy of your book, how would they go about doing that? What avenues can they use to get your book?
They can definitely go to my website, SHENELLINC.com. There's a link that will take you straight to Amazon, or you can go to Amazon and just put in my name, SHE space NELL, and all of the books will pop up, including the new release. And what's beautiful about that, if you're an e-reader, the e-version of the books is only like 99 cents. If you would like a paperback book, the paperback is a little bit more pricier, but it's on Prime, so it has free delivery.
Oh, that's good. That's good, because I know a lot of times when you're already paying like $10 to $12 for a book, you don't realize that the shipping is like $4 or $5, and it makes the price a little bit. Yeah, so that's good that there's free shipping on that with the Prime account. If anybody wants to connect with you on social media or anything like that, how can they find you on social media?
I'm on Facebook at SHE space NELL. You can definitely see me there. Submit a friend request. I'm on Instagram as author she_Nell. That's author SHE_NELL.
Okay, all right. Now, as far as any more events, do you have anything else that's coming up after the one on the 20th?
Yes, on May the 5th, I will be at the Oxford Exchange. It's in downtown Tampa. The Oxford Exchange is a bookstore. They're actually having a big book event. It's their 5th annual Oxford Exchange, so I'll be a part of that. I'm very excited about that because it's a very big thing in the book community here where I'm at. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, okay, great. It sounds like you have a very busy summer ahead of you.
I am trying. I'm definitely trying.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else that we should be looking out for as far as you're concerned?
Definitely look out for the book. Like I said, I'm on Amazon. And then the events that are coming up this summer, if they have any events or if you're a part of them and would like an author to appear and talk about the book that you guys are reading, I'm also available for that. All of that information is on my website as well.
Okay, great. What I want to do is I want to check the lines and see if we have anybody with us. Let's see. If you're listening in on the interview and you'd like to ask a question, we can pause right now to give you an opportunity to ask your question. All you would have to do is press the number 1 key, and that will indicate to me that you have a question for the author on the panel today. And if you do not, then we would just like to thank you in advance for tuning in and listening to the interview that we have with her today. So we're just going to pause briefly. All right. Looks like they're just listening for now, so that's okay. But we really do thank you for listening in. I know sometimes when you're given the opportunity to speak on live radio, you feel kind of like uncomfortable. So that's okay. And we really do appreciate you tuning in. But just to let you guys know, if you want to hear this interview again later on, you have plenty of options to do so. We currently have it where we have a YouTube channel. So if you have internet access, you can go to youtube.com and then put it in the search engine, Transparency Library, and you'll be able to see every show that we have had since we began. Episode makes number 46, believe it or not.
Wonderful.
So we have reached out to many writers and have had the opportunity to get them on the radio to tell us a little bit about their book and themselves. And we're so honored to have so many on our roster. So, yeah, if you guys can go to Transparency Library on the YouTube channels, you can hear every episode, and the playback is there for the life of YouTube, or however long we're there.
How wonderful.
Yeah, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in. I noticed that we had a few new countries that started chiming in and listening to the radio network. So I want to thank all of my babies in Amsterdam, around the Netherlands, and also those who are in dang it, I had it right on the tip of my tongue. The United Kingdom, the UK, that was also added this week. So we want to thank all of our listeners all over in those 11 countries that we're being heard in. Thank you guys for all of your love and your support and keeping us on the air. It's really, really, really appreciated. Right now, if you'd like, I can give you the opportunity to kind of give a sales pitch as to why someone should grab a copy of your book, if that's okay.
I'm sorry, I missed you. Say again.
Like a sales pitch, like what would you tell a potential reader in order to get them to order a copy of your new book?
Drama that draws you in, but does not draw you away from Christ and a Christian lifestyle, then you definitely want to check out the urban Christian fiction genre, because that's exactly what happens. You're drawn into stories that will intrigue you, but they won't separate you from what you learn in church, what you believe in your heart.
All right. So I'm very interested in taking a look at your book. It sounds like a great read. It sounds like a very great read. And it's very difficult to find Christian fiction. Believe it or not, it's not a genre that's widely used. Most of the Christian novels that I have seen have been self-help, like T.D. Jakes and Winona Bynum, and those. They give like instructional things that you can use to kind of like get through life a little bit better. They're more like self-help books as opposed to entertainment in the category. So that's a blessing. So where exactly are all your books? Are they just on Amazon, or do you have like multiple channels that they're available on?
A good thing, part 1 and 2 are available through Barnes & Noble. A good thing, I believe, is available through Books A Million as well. Normally what happens is the bigger stores actually just get them from Amazon and sell them in their stores. So it just kind of depends on what your preference is. Amazon is quick and it delivers to your house. But if you would like to go inside of a store, as I do myself sometimes, you can definitely go to Barnes & Noble, and they will ship it to you.
Okay, great. Now, just to give kind of sort of like a recap over the books that you've mentioned, can you give a brief synopsis on the trilogy that you have so that people can look that set as well?
Trilogy starts off with a story about Chantel. I like to say she's a good girl who is doing everything right, but nothing's going right for her. From there, you're introduced to some secondary characters that become primary characters in the books that follow.
Okay.
So in part 2, we actually follow the journey of the pastor who is a young pastor, but it's an older congregation. And then in part 3, which was basically a fan choice, You find out what happened to a character that was in part 1, that was an ideal person, but he doesn't show up again until part 3.
Oh, okay, okay. And that's based on what the life choices of that particular main character, or
Yeah, she goes through some things. She's definitely, sometimes bad things happen to good people. That's really what it's about. Understanding your worth as a woman and understanding that even though sometimes bad things do happen, you're still a good thing.
that is so true. That is so true, and I agree with you on that. There's a lot of times when bad things do happen to good people, and it's no fault of their own. It's not like they did anything wrong to
Exactly.
where like they're being punished or anything like that. Sometimes it's just bad people coming to the mix. What I want to do is I want to take a brief um, second to do like a little commercial break. So if you'll hold on the
Okay,
line, that'd be okay.
that's fine.
Tired, stressed, long work week. Well, visit its Spamtastic Spa and Bakery, the DMV's first cannabis-friendly spa and bakery, where we provide infused spa services and infused skincare products to help heal your mind, body, and spirit. We also have awesome treats and much more to infuse your day. So give us a call at 202-341-7082 or 202-455-6485. Or you can check us out on IG at its_Bamtastic. And remember, if you can eat it or use it, we infuse it.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.
All right, guys, we are back and we are live at the Literary Lounge. And this is your host, Miss Destiny D. And our special guest for the day is none other than Miss Nell. And we've been discussing a few of her new books that she has out right now. Currently, she has a 3-piece book set. She also has another standalone, and then she has the new one that we were discussing today. And I want to take out the time to give everybody an opportunity to listen to this young lady and to also order a copy of her new book, The Devil Thought He Had Me. I feel that it's a good book, and I'm planning on getting a copy of it. If not, the Kindle version I'll probably end up getting so that I can show love and support to her. So if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So I really do want you to show your love to her and order a copy of her book. So with that being said, is there anything that you would like any of the listeners to know?
Definitely that God loves them. At the end of the day, in the world that we live in, with all the trials and tribulations, it's kind of hard to see His love. As Christians, we are love agents. We're supposed to stand in the gap for the world and, show God's love. But sometimes we don't do a good job of that. So I would hate for people to think that, because they have experienced church hurt, experienced, a situation that did not or was not ideal, that God Himself doesn't love them. So definitely I would love everyone to know that God is love and God loves you right where you are, right in the circumstances and the situations that you're because he knows the amount of hairs we have on our head. So he definitely knows who we are, and he'll answer.
And you know what? That's indeed true. And I'm glad that you said what you just said. Come as you are. When you're going
Definitely.
through something, he wants to see you in all your mess. And it doesn't matter what you're going through. You can always bring things that you're dealing with to him because he's pretty much the only one who could do anything about it. I have noticed that when we try to fix things ourselves, it get worse about a minute.
Yes, they do.
I mean, it looks like every time we try to do something, it's like it blows up in our face or it either ends up taking the wrong turn. But it looks like as soon as we surrender and give it all to him, it's like he make ways that you can't even explain how he made them. So definitely, if you feel like nobody is there or if you feel like you need somebody to talk to, he's the perfect listener. And he'll even give you comfort in knowing that he's right there with you through it all, and he won't leave your side. He'll never forsake you. He'll forever be your friend. And I think that that's something that everybody should know. You know, I feel like we all go through things, and tests are supposed to be things that we endure to make us strong. And I always say, you know, you can't have a testimony without first going through the test.
Yes, definitely true.
And you can never have a message unless you go through the mess. So it's like you know, these things are not meant to tear you down. They're all to build you up and to build your faith and to build your character and to make you stronger so that you can endure this cruel world. I think and we've had discussions about, you know, people not being able to handle the things of this life, and I encourage anybody who feel like they on the verge of giving up or they feel like they need somebody to talk to other than the Most High, do that. Reach out, seek somebody, seek some kind of counsel that you can go to. It don't necessarily have to be, you know, somebody from the church. It could be somebody like a counselor or, you know, a psychiatrist, somebody that you can talk to and get your problems out and try to work on those things as best as you can. Because a lot of times you can't deal with it on your own, and closing yourself off and shutting yourself down is just not a way, you know, to answer that particular situation. And also keeping it to yourself and bottling it up inside is only a short way to disaster. Because once you get to the point to where you can't take all of the things that have compounded, the last thing we want to hear is that you've done something that you can't take back. So I encourage anybody who's going through to talk to somebody, try to get it out. And I also encourage these churches to have a better understanding of what people are going through, because a lot of times I have noticed that when somebody comes to the church and they're in the midst of their mess, a lot of times they're criticized, a lot of times they're judged by what they've already done, even though they're trying to make amends or trying to change what they're currently going through. And I encourage those who say they are children of the Most High to open up their heart and understand that people are with flaws. And it's not your place to make them feel worse about what they're already coming to get help for. They've already taken the first step, and now they need your guidance. They need you to be that guiding light to show them the way as far as to how to make it, to go beyond what they went through and be a beacon for somebody else. And I've noticed lately that some of the people who have been through similar situations that what we're talking about, They were the number one candidate for bringing others in the same situation, able to be speakers, motivational speakers, to where they could tell, this is what I went through and this is how I made it. And I encourage anybody else who's going through something similar, this is what you can do in order to make it. And I pray that whoever needs that person to talk to finds a church family that is open-hearted, that's not condemning them with the world, that's giving them an opportunity to get themselves together. Because I've seen so many people have nervous breakdowns, and I've even seen some hurt themselves. And the last thing that we want is for you to go without seeking some kind of help. You guys just find somebody to talk to try to get all of that out. I know it sounds kind of, out there. Sometimes even a perfect stranger. I've seen where people be sitting on the park bench and don't even know the other person that they're sitting beside, but just a message was enough to keep them, from doing something that they would possibly regret. So I just encourage anybody that's going through something to try to get somebody to talk to, because it could very well mean the difference in how you handle things later on. Because a lot of people don't realize that even though they feel like their life is all to pieces and messed up, it's still a life. And the longer you're here, the more you'll connect with other people. And it's like you have to be mindful of how these other people would feel if something were to happen to you. So it's not just about you, and it's about everybody that you're connected to. So just be mindful of that when you make a decision that could very well affect everybody that has come into contact with you. Just be mindful of that. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. I know today's circumstances were a bit odd, and I apologize for any inconvenience or anything that you may have occurred during this transitional time. As you know what I'm going through, because I've already explained it to you.
And we're definitely praying for you.
Yeah, and I really, really appreciate that. I really do. I'm glad that you were able to give a word of motivation and a reason to still hang in there. We definitely don't look like what we've been through.
Definitely don't look like that.
Oh, child, if we did, we'd be some rough pole-looking critters.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful, and I'm yet holding. And I pray the same for you. I pray that you have multiple blessings, honey, with your ventures, with your. And I hope that anybody who has listened to this gets some kind of a message from it. I also hope that you're able to go and look up her on Amazon. And by the way, go ahead and give those dates again and where you're going to be, so they can try to show up and show love and support. Go ahead and give that info again.
On April the 20th, I will be in Clearwater, Florida at the Tampa Bay Black Author Expo from 10 to 4 p.m. On May the 5th, I will be at the Oxford Exchange Bookstore and Book Fair from 10 to 5 p.m. And both of those events are in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah. So I need all of my Florida babies. If you're not doing anything on those 2 dates, please show your love. Go to the expo and seek out Miss Nell and let her know that you heard it live on WTLR radio that she was going to be there. She might give you a discount of some kind. I don't know. Or maybe a bookmark. We'll see. But you definitely want to show love to her. I wish you much success. I can't wait to see the new piece that you're working on, because you got us all excited and wondering what it's all about. Thank everybody for tuning in, and really want to thank everybody for making this show what it is, because like I say on every show, if you're not here, there would be no show. And thank you for taking out the time to be on here. I hope and pray that what has been said helps you and benefits you in some kind of way. And feel free to contact us and stay very, very present with us, because we like to get feedback as to anything that possibly may have happened after the interview. Because we've had so many people come back and say, after the interview I sold 99 books, and after the interview, they called me and told me they wanted me to be a keynote speaker at an engagement. I also had one other guy who said that a college professor heard his radio interview and decided to make his book her curriculum for the semester.
Oh, wow.
So I definitely want to get some feedback from you, so you can let me know if there's anything that happens after this interview, and let us know, if we made an impact in your life, because we that's what we're here for. We're here for the upliftment of the Black writer, and anything that we can do to assist you in your goal, that's what we're here for. And just to let everybody know that's tuning in and listening, she's also in this month's magazine. So if you want to read an article about her, feel free to look us up Amazon. We have Kindle copies and paperbacks available. You can read an article about her. You can also see, the flyer for today's show. So with that being said, we just have a few more minutes left. If you have any closing remarks or statement that you'd like to make, you can do so right now.
Definitely put God first in all that you do, because He does love you. If you're looking for me, I'm easy to find. I'm on SHENELLINC.com. That's my website. There you'll find interviews, blogs, book talk, and you'll also be up to date on anything that I'm doing as far as my writing career, my work in progress, and some writer advice. So definitely look out for my website, SHENELLINC.com, and put God first, because He loves you.
All right. Well, you heard us from Miss Chanel. And like I said, thank you so much for being on the show today. We really do appreciate you. And I hope to see the things from you. And you're most welcome. So with that being said, you take care and have a blessed day, okay?
You too. Thank you so much.
All right, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destiny D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.
All right, guys, make sure you tune in next week. We're going to have another special guest by the name of Kiara Jane.
This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author. here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The new Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.